has now arrived at the Union Buildings. Let's cross over now live to see what essentially he has to say of that tremendous trek that he did this morning. Believe that he left from 9 a.m. Let's cross over live as we have a look at some of those visuals.
Activists, and they are members of the liberation movement. They took part in the liberation movement. We are questioning those credentials of the liberation, or else they were in the MK as askaris and selling out, because today young people are engaged on a mission that is not yet ours. As young people who haven't started fighting our own battles, we are fighting the old battles of our parents, those that we have came here to submit a memorandum. The memorandum is speaking to the consciousness and the revolutionary in them, if there is. This is a test, and they will be tested in front of the public, because in as much as there was destruction of property, to which we are not ignorant of, but we are saying it happened under a political cloud. The conditions on the ground were those of political influence. It isn't any just criminality that students woke up and vandalized. So, because if it was, why are they not vandalizing now? So they vandalized the motive behind the vandalization. That's what we must be talking about. It was politically motivated, and a revolution. There is no revolution that is purely peaceful. A violence is part of a revolution, but we are not condoning those acts of violence. We are now saying to government, use political means to solve political problems. You can't use a criminal justice to deal with political problems, because if you do that, you remind us of apartheid. You told us that apartheid was cruel, but the way you told us how cruel apartheid was, it seems like the victims are now becoming the killers, and we can't allow our parents to eat their own like pigs. That's why we are speaking to the consciousness of the president and of the liberation movement, the African National Congress, to which we are members of, in good standing. And it is a call to young people that when you criticize and attack the ANC, it means you love it. The day you stop criticizing it, it means you hate it. And we love the movement. That's why we are here, coming here to eat, having not resorted to anything else. Even when they have brutalized us and suppressed us, we still say the ANC is home. Can they also see us as their children and do the right thing? We are here to call for the right thing and nothing else.
You're not the first to make the call. There have been other students who've made the call. So are you hopeful that perhaps after walking as many kilometers as you have, that perhaps you will get a positive response?
Well, to be honest with you, we need every pressure that will come. We don't care how many people are singing, as long as we are singing the same tune. That's what matters. Because if we are going to say you want to sing alone, we are going to have problems. The revolution is not for one person. The revolution is for all young people in South Africa, mostly the black masses of our people who are subjected to poverty. So that's why we are here. And it mustn't end today. We expect others from Cape Town to walk to Parliament. We have to put pressure up until our demands are heard. This is not a honeymoon or a romantic event that we would have taken a bus or a how train to come here. It is a revolution, and a revolution is pain, and we are enduring the pain. The same pain that our people who are already in jail, like Kanya, who's serving 8 years already. You can imagine the pain and the careers that are yet to end with the continuation of the prosecution. And
so how much time are you giving the president with your memorandum, and what's the next plan if it doesn't go your way?
Well, you can't put a time frame when you are pleading. We are here to plead. We are not coming here with arrogance and ignorance. We are pleading, we are speaking to consciousness. So ours is to hope that it will reach his heart We can't come here to put time frames as if we are apartheid oppressing our people. We are speaking to consciousness. We come here consciously, and we are speaking to consciousness of the president, and the pressure that will come from the public probably is that will make him react so quickly. But we hope, because this is an urgent matter, we hope that he will react with agency as well.
You speak of the pressure. There are plans to organize more sort of demonstrations like this in other areas?
You see, a revolution is not planned. The conditions on the ground determine the next action. Yes. Because you can't come here and say, what are you going to do tomorrow? As if this is a Catholic church that you know which Wednesday and which verse will be read everywhere. So yeah, it is a revolution. So the conditions on the ground will determine, and we hope that we have arisen the consciousness of young people everywhere. So young people will decide what the next step is. And when you see here, there is too much leadership of young people which is already here. And I hope that they will go back to their relevant branches and their political movements, and also speak to the issue of national importance. So we don't know what will be the next move. Probably the president will respond immediately when he comes back from the overseas trip. We don't know. But we are also speaking to the parents at home who are in cabinet, those who were once student leaders. We are also challenging them to say, you were once student leaders, and mostly those who are mothers, to say, because you were once a mother and you carried a child. How do you feel when such things are happening? And
you just mentioned that you're seeing a lot of leaders there. Do you feel you have enough support, especially from students that obviously benefited from the free education?
Well, it depends. It depends on you, on how you want to define support. Because if you want to define support as numbers, you are going to have problems. Support comes in many forms. Support comes in prayers. Support comes in encouragement. Support comes in many forms. Yes, we have support, and we are very much happy with the support.
Please give us some of the points in your memorandum.
Well, there is quite a lot of things that we are speaking about in the letter to the president. Mostly we are speaking about, like I said, that we are speaking on the consciousness, and that we are also reminding the president, and we are also reminding the president of the main objectives of the formation of the African National Congress from its inception, why the ANC was formed. We gave him the pillars of why the ANC was formed. One of them was that of the realization of free education. We are saying, as young people, we were fulfilling those objectives that they sold to our parents, that they picked up arms and went to exile. So now we are saying to them, you can't then, when we pursue what you have taught us to pursue, then you criminalize us. We also speak on the issues that he has powers as president, that he derives from the constitution, that his prerogative powers to grant amnesty and pardon young people. So most of the things we are alluding, and to also say that when you incriminate these people, sending them to long-term prison, you are not assisting us in terms of closing the gap of inequality between white and black, because the people who took part in the protest are mainly black people and poor. So you are perpetuating poverty, and that our people won't get out of that thing. So it is those things. But we also have another annexure where we then say to the president, just because we have captured our attention, let us also bring other issues to your attention, probably that you don't know. We remind him of Univen. We remind him of Teflop. We remind him of Fort Hare, Ngoye and Mangosuthu. We say those are former Bantustan University. They also remain an insult to a black child. When you look at Univen today, that doesn't even have toilets. That doesn't even have pavers. That doesn't even have Wi-Fi. That is a shame and an insult to black people 24 years and above to democracy. That's the issues that we are saying. The infrastructure to those universities, the status of those universities, to say that our people have to travel from Louis Trichardt there and Vembe to come and be hobos here in Pretoria University, and that's because they are chasing better education. If government had improved those universities and Teflop, they all come from, because none of these leaders went to vets. They are products of those universities that they are neglecting. We are reminding them of those issues, talking of infrastructure in those issues, and also granting those universities the status of research like the white universities, because you can't expect Univen and Fort Hare to compete with Stellenbosch and UCT having a status of teaching and learning only, when these institutions have research. If they have a status of research, it means they are able to generate their own money. They can sustain themselves. Those are the things that we are questioning to the leadership today. And we also point on the issue of NSFAS itself, to say that it can't happen that black young people have to be subjected to inhumane activities, like running around the country looking for death certificates and looking for DNA tests as to who your father is, so that you can, because who cares who your father is? You might find that your mother doesn't even know who your father is. You find that some of us, we are being raised by grandmothers, and your mother and father is those that raised you. But the requirements of NSFAS are ridiculing black people to an extent that each and every year you have to run around looking for a mucus of TB, that your parents have TB so they can't pay for you. Those are the things, and you do those things each and every year. Those are the things that we are raising to the president, when to say that you can't. So we are saying that if we want to restore the dignity of a black child, those are the things that we must deal with. Now, we are also saying we can't have the universities enjoying what they call academic freedom or the autonomy. That's what they call it, so that they oppress us and have rules where government can't even interfere. We say to the president, does he even know the curriculum that is being taught? And what is the future plans of the country through the curriculum? Because with the curriculum, you project the type of society you want to create. If you want to create white people in black bodies, that's what the curriculum is doing. A curriculum that is colonizing us yet again. So government must be able to determine the curriculum. A Chinese curriculum speak to the aspiration of China and where China wants to see itself. The curriculum in South Africa must speak to the aspirations of our 20 years. Where do we want to be? We say to the president, look at the very same curriculum that doesn't teach agriculture. VETS doesn't teach agriculture. UCT doesn't teach agriculture. UJ doesn't teach agriculture. Now, how are you going to make farming fashionable if those institutions are not teaching agriculture? You are teaching our people accounting. Whose money are they going to count? They are going to be counting the money of the farmers, because money is on the ground. Teach our people agriculture. Make agriculture fashionable. That's the importance of the curriculum. It is in here. Those are the issues that we are raising, sensitive as they are. But certain things must be raised, and the time to raise them is now. Yes.
Thank you very much. That's Mcebo Dlamini finally arriving at the union buildings and still bringing the media.
The feet are refusing, but we pushed ourselves. The conviction, the determination, and the support we have been receiving all the way. We couldn't then disappoint the young people who are all over the country who have been supporting us. And also, we couldn't give up on ourselves as young people. So that's what pushed me. I hope when I get back to my place, I will collapse. But we would have fulfilled the mission. Thank you. Where's the phone?
Well, of course, there you have it. After walking for 60 plus kilometers from Johannesburg, Braamfontein this morning, making his way finally to the Union Buildings, Mcebo Dlamini, Fees Must Fall activist as well as student. We do know he himself, due to some of the activities that he participated in that took part during the Fees Must Fall protest, he is facing those criminal charges. Of course, he's going to be handing over that memorandum of demands that will be collected by a government representative. On those memorandum of demands, he was also saying that they are in solidarity with some of the other students that are also facing jail time. Also, they would like to be bringing up some of the issues that NSFAS issues bring to students, as well as some of the conditions that he says students still continue to face 24 years post-democracy on some of the university campuses. He also says that he is not coming in arrogance, but is simply making a plea to the president in hope that they can hear some of the views that are being brought forward by the students. Of course, he has indeed arrived at the Union Buildings. For more, though, we cross over to Francis.